Welcome to Open Topics with Terry Reese. I'm your host, Terry Reese. Open Topics is a slapdash podcast for fun and entertainment. No politics, no religion, unless it's really funny. In today's episode, we're welcoming back the lovely, the funny, the one and only, Dia Martori. Did you hear that? Recording is in progress, whether you like it or not.
Thanks for the warning.
And 3, 2, 1, and we are rolling on Open Topics with Terry Reese. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, all you fun folks at home, all 7 of you that are actually listening right now. Really appreciate your support. And I am very excited to be hosting this podcast. This is only the second one of 2022. I'm supposed to be holding up 2 fingers. That's right, 2. I confess to having been drinking alcohol before I began this podcast. I'm holding up my 2 fingers in the Boy Scout salute. I swear to God, I've been drinking since I started. And that's okay because, you know, listen, if Joe Rogan can smoke pot and do DMT and shit on his show, I can have a shot of tequila. I mean,
at the least.
At the least. Tequila right. And cool fresh water.
Oh.
But back into my intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Open Topics with Terry Reese. I am inebriated, and that is why you are here. And so is my very good friend and my very, very, very fun guest, Dia Martori. Welcome, Dia.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Welcome back, I should say. Because
well, that's right.
One of the only people who had the guts to come back and try it again.
I don't know if we'd call it guts, but
well, you're a brave soul. There's no 2 ways about that. No 2 ways about it. And I'm very, very grateful that you're here. So we are going to talk about whatever open topic comes to our mind. God only knows what it'll be because, like I said, I've been drinking. So almost anything.
Right, I'm nervous.
Almost anything can happen. Well, you know, there's so many things going on in the world. There's plenty of things to talk about. We can talk about fun stuff. We can talk about light stuff. We can talk about cosmic happenings. We can talk about Joe Rogan if you want to. I don't even care. God bless his soul.
She's like, I care so little. We can even talk about Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's really, you know, I've been watching podcasts for a while now, just out of boredom and the fact that I can't afford cable. And so I find that basically all you need is a beanie hat, apparently.
Right.
And
I don't have one.
I am going to invest right now. I'm wearing my Disneyland cap because I don't have my beanie appropriate.
Shit, I thought that was Detroit, girl. I was like, when'd you get into sports? But okay.
No, sir. Disneyland. D for Disney.
Okay.
Hey, if you guys
She's like, and this is the only D I'll be having. Thank you.
Well, a D could. But anyhow, boom. I'll be here all week, folks. So, so this is my fun podcast about nothing. And I did a revamp now that I'm doing it on video. So we are actually being videotaped. And in celebration of that, Dia has created a beautiful new piece of light art in her backyard because she's just that dedicated to this. I think that you might have to be my new co-host with that freaking blue light back there. That's just like it's got my eye.
It's been sitting on my desk since Halloween. I was like, I would do something with this.
Make that happen. Just make it happen.
Tonight is the night.
Well, it's living in my dreams. It's living in my dreams. So enough about me and my problems.
Oh, dear God.
Speak up.
I thought you were like going to ask me about me and mine. And I was like, oh, girl, that's going to be a whole different kind of show.
But
Oh.
Ooh, Sonny.
Oh my God, let's talk about everything. Everything.
All right. Well, what's on your mind? What's been going on in your world? What tickles your fancy, or is your, what's the word? Your pet peeve, or who's pissed you off?
Oh.
Do you want to get mad first, or you want to get funny first?
Okay, let's go funny first.
Let's go funny first. So let's go
funny first.
What do you find funny? I'll tell you, I find, here's what I find funny. Airlines. I just happen to be in the position where I'm buying an airline ticket, which I don't do very often. And I'm like kind of old school. You buy a ticket on an airline, you get on the airplane, you go to the place, you come back. Well, apparently that's not the new way of travel. In the 21st century, travel is consistent of component parts, which you must then assemble. So you buy a ticket to get on the plane, and then you
like an entry fee, if you will.
Exactly. So
it's like it's going to get you to make it past the door. It's not going to buy your drinks.
Get you past the door, and then it's kind of like when you go to the nightclub. But can I sit down? Well, I don't know. Is there a table? Do you see any empty fucking chairs, bitch? All right, then. Did you have a reservation for this airplane? Well, I kind of did, but it just got me in the door. Well, if you can see an empty seat, you can have the empty seat. So you buy a ticket to get on a plane, and now once you're on the plane, it is implied that you can fly standing up. But apparently you can't.
Really?
Well, I mean,
was like, what?
It's a ticket on the plane.
I'm so stupid. I'm gullible.
I bought my ticket. What good is the ticket if I can't get some? You follow me where I'm going here? Like, why?
Well,
who figured out the dubious tactic? Where are they making that extra $10.50 by selling me a seat
like three
after
or four of those? $10. So
$10.
She said it. I'm so sorry. I have a dinosaur in my house yelling to get out. So if you guys are wondering what a bloodhound who really wants to go outside sounds like,
you're hearing it, and he's heavy on the blood tonight.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna come through that glass. And
well,
just be
if
like,
you
hey,
need to let him out, you certainly can let him out and let him do his thing. He's a dog. It's like, he was doing that all day. He's already ruined the podcast, so you might as well just start.
Right. You guys might just meet Reggie. Now that it's on video, everybody can see Reggie, and he should just now be
well, we've got visual effects now. You're very welcome to share any or
I'm going to send you a picture of Reg so that he can just come up on he'll float up on your screen.
I definitely do want you to send me pictures of all kinds of cool stuff, because that's part of the fun. Well, I
sent you a picture of the only picture that I have of the two of us together.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was at the white party.
I do remember
even though I was wearing hazmat orange. Sorry. No disrespect.
Well, that's okay, because I was 350 pounds in that picture, so I ain't using it. I mean, I might cut myself out and then put a picture of Crawford or something in there, but
that's funny.
No. I really was. That was just about my heaviest.
Well, you've lost a ton of weight, an absolute ton of weight, but I want to lose a ton of weight.
No,
but I haven't yet. So I'm working on it.
I kind of lost a ton of weight. Well, if 50 is half of 50 pounds is half of a ton, that's the new math. But I did lose about little over 50 pounds. I've put a little bit back in the last couple of weeks just because I've been stress eating about stress. But other than that, it was quite a miraculous thing, because I've always been the big girl in the bunch. Always, kind of went back and forth with my whole everything, but somehow miraculously landed on some mental process that allowed me to lose weight really pretty easily over the course of about 7 or 8 months. And then I kept it off for over a year. It's only been in the last month or so that I've been, kind of stress eating, like I said. But other than that, it's been quite miraculous. And
you should do a podcast about it.
Hey, let's start one now. So, folks, I'm going to tell you.
Do you love that? Does everybody say, I always say this to my best friends all the time. We're on the phone. We have my friends, as you can imagine, are just crazy. So some of them, they don't
I would think so.
do anything but text. Some of them only call every now and then. I have one that every time she puts a phone in her hand, she FaceTimes you and doesn't give you any warning. So it'll be like 7 a.m. here. And then all of a sudden I'm getting FaceTimed. So we've got I forgot what I was saying. Oh my God. We've got all these girls and we are all friends, but we're always, every time each of us talk, we're like, we should have a podcast.
We should have a podcast.
Anybody want to listen to us?
Well, you should. And I'm going to invite you to have a podcast with me. What do you think about that? Just have a podcast with me. I've already got one. You're halfway there.
Hey, we're already there. We're in the lower corner.
We're 2 episodes in. Might as well just go for it. I don't see any reason not to. You're, one of the smartest, funniest people I know. That's really the only criteria that I have. Smart, funny. Smart, funny.
Oh.
And, good looking doesn't hurt.
Good looking does not hurt. I'm circling back though, because I'm curious now.
What's that?
When you first purchased your original entry fee into the airplane, toward
the one that didn't include a seat to sit in.
Right. Now that you've got your seat and you might get hungry. So you're going to have to buy like a box of dry food for $15 and then you'll get
kibble.
Yeah. And then you probably have to buy your own, sodas or something. I don't know what they do anymore.
Depends on the airline. The airlines, the last time I flew, which was a while back, they gave away these ginger snap cookies they're by a company called Biscoff, and they're just 2 little ginger snaps in a little cellophane wrapper, and they're barely not even the size of a saltine cracker, and they give you this they parse out one little helping of cracker, and
it's like a thimble of water.
What would you like with that? And and they're so delicious, and you want more, and you're like afraid if the person gets up next to you, you're gonna like cut a bit,
swipe their cookie. Backflip.
Don't make me cut after you, girl.
Yeah,
you leave that seat. That cookie's mine.
That's my cookie. That's gonna be my cookie.
Or as my sister would say,
do they even give you?
You're going to eat that?
Do they give you seconds anymore if you ask for them?
I mean, super charming as I am. And
sure.
You're super
They just give you the plane, by the way, on the way up.
Yeah.
Here's your plane.
She was charming. Let's just
give her the plane.
She was the nicest one on the flight. Let's just let her have it. So yeah, they will, if you're nice and you smile and you have your mask up over your nose nicely, they will,
and
keep it there and only do one of these things to feed yourself the tiny ginger cookie.
Because they can't go through throwing peanuts at you anymore. It's not the 70s.
Remember
back then they were like allergy, smell allergy. Everybody,
Southwest, they literally
hurl peanuts and people smoking next to you. They were just like
back in the day
when
people put on a suit to go traveling on the airlines. When I was a kid in the 60s, I know it's that long ago. When I was a kid back in the 60s, we went to Hawaii. I think I was maybe 7 at the time. And my dad got a trip to Hawaii from his job and took the whole family. I mean, that's a big deal to take 5 kids or 4 kids to Hawaii, on Pan American Airlines.
Wow.
And you got the little you
got your wings,
little wing things. And and people got all dressed up to get on the airplane, and they had their cocktails, and it was all very, very glamorous. Very glamorous. It's not.
And now everybody looks.
I literally put my pajamas on. Lady.
Yeah,
I absolutely put my pajamas on to go to the airport. Like, I am not going to be uncomfortable on a plane.
2 pairs of socks, so you can just throw one in the trash after you go through TSA's hat down.
Thought of that. God dang, that's a great idea. People at home, if you're listening, all 7 of you, write that shit down. 2 pairs of socks at the airport. Bam.
And I'll tell you another life hack that I learned, thank you, from TikTok, is that you can get on the good side of your flight attendants by bringing them bags of candy for their shift.
Shut up.
Little Skittles.
Like Like in the olden
And
times, when they would
Starbucks,
bring beads to the Native Americans and trade them blankets.
Now it's candy.
Now
You
it's
just
candy.
give them candy and they'll be friendly to you. Candy, and wear your mask. Wear your
I will
goddamn
trade you
mask.
this piece of candy for 4 of them damn ginger cookies, bitch.
Mm-hmm. They'll be like, that's the nice one.
4.
She knows. They'll be like, your family must be a flight attendant. I don't know, but I heard, like I said, so it's on TikTok. So, it's got to be true.
I dipped into TikTok for about a minute and it's like heroin. It's like eyeball heroin. And I
can't sleep without it.
I'm like, fuck. And I joined it. I never made a video because I could never quite get to that level of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not that free yet. Maybe another shot of tequila.
Well, yeah, you should put clips of your podcast on TikTok. Not this one, but like, I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking this might be the one. Because if anybody is TikTokable, it's going to be this setup right here that we got going on.
I have my dogs on TikTok. They do cute shit, so I put them on TikTok. But that's about it. And they have a small little hound following.
I have a niece who is named. She always says she's named after me, but I think that would be weird if she actually was. But her name is Terry, and it's spelled like me. And she is well, but that's the thing, is that she's in the same, like my sister's daughter, the same generation. It would be weird to name it like
no, but it's like honoring you.
I don't think so though. I just don't believe it, but I guess I can't think of anything else. Anyway, she, who is a very beautiful young lady, is very talented. She's a lot like you, very outgoing, very she's just, she just lights shit up. Right. And she is a TikTok little masteress. I mean, she's just amazing. I think to myself, how much time does it take? I know how much time it takes to do this.
Right. And just the editing alone.
The editing and, you got to listen to the whole thing 25 times through to, line every, all the different stuff. I mean, I could just let it go like this and have it be a flat thing, but I will actually edit it and put images and different stuff in there. Assuming that this, pans out, we may have to end it at any moment because,
she might say, I'm done.
I'm done trying to pull shit out of you, girl. It's like pulling teeth. That's what I said to my friend Rusty, who I did my other funny, famous podcast with. As it's not everybody is as talkative.
Is that the one you sent me? I think
yes, Rusty. I went to high school with him, and he is as outgoing as they come, and as talkative. And I mean, you find a subject, he'll find a way to just go off on it.
Yeah,
and you are the same way. Being smart is an important key to being funny. I've always said. Just write that down.
Well, and it's funny when you're really, really smart though, your humor only lands on a few people. And that's like that's my husband. If you ask me, cause he's got like not dry humor, but he's just got he's very witty.
Intellectual
and he's always got
humor. Like and British humor.
Always got something. Exactly. And people will say the funniest shit and like nobody responds
because he probably always says it just in that one level below the sonic, like whatever the vibrational level of like dog's hearing is. Mm-hmm. He says it kind of low, and only you can hear him.
Only I can hear him. Is that it? Maybe and he's like, okay, well, I guess my shit is lost on all of you people, but
well, it's true. There are people who are just they get to the point of things, and that's my favorite kind of humor is smart observational stuff. That's just like, did that just fucking happen? Yeah, it did. Fucking
yeah, I wish I could do that just super quick comebacks. I'm not very.
I'd say you're pretty well oiled machine, young lady.
Hey,
pardon my French.
I was like, hey. So you had mentioned a couple of things to me when we were talking about just stuff in general, like.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. stuff
She
to
said,
talk about?
yeah. Well, so I'm not super spacey. Like I wish I was. My kid is very spacey. So I'm trying to get into spacey
Now,
stuff. And
when you say, let's for the folks at home, when she says spacey, she does not mean like numbskulled. She means spacey as in outer space, as in UFOs, star travel, alien life.
Yeah, we're not talking about Kevin. Okay.
Okay.
We're talking about heaven. Really? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going there.
All kind of business.
No, so like he's really super huge into space, and I'm trying to get there. And then like we're, I'm like, should I watch Ancient Aliens? Do I need to catch up? Like, what are we doing?
If you watch one, the beauty of that show is if you watch one, you have watched them all.
Oh, really? So it's not like Tiger King.
Well, I still haven't seen Tiger King, so maybe it is. I just can't bring myself to go to Tiger King for whatever set of reasons. I have, that's just not a high priority in my world, but still.
I can imagine.
Still in all. Yeah. So, don't waste your time on Ancient Aliens. Just go straight to YouTube. There's just some whack ass. But, here's the thing. I say whack ass because I'm being facetious and funny, but half of it I believe in. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah.
That makes sense. Totally checks out.
Of course. I'm just grateful YouTube finally came around.
Exactly.
So we could be learning the real history of the world.
I tell you.
Well, you want to educate yourself, girl. Just spend one evening flipping through YouTube, extraterrestrial, UFO, and podcasts.
I tell you, it's all related, and that's why I was like, I can't do spacey stuff because I'm not very, I don't know much about it.
Here's something spacey that anyone can talk about. Elon Musk has been sending up these satellites, the Starlink. You heard about that?
Yes.
So see, that's kind of spacey, but it's also newsy. And so he sent up all these Starlink. I don't know how many of them were already up there, like lots and lots and lots of them. At certain nights, you can just see a string of these little distant pearls go by. But anyway, they did a recent, people are going to all 7 of the people that are listening are going to write me a letter. I hope so, because I could use the paper. The Starlink sent up like 49 of these new rockets, new satellites. And last week there was a space
collision,
a solar flare.
Okay.
Solar flare, and it just.
You did this. I was like, did they run into each other? I thought it was a vacuum, so fucking nothing happened. Like, I don't know.
The sunburst hit the frickin'. My head is the satellite, and these are the rays of the sun. So 40 out of the 49 of these Starlink satellites basically just got freaking fried and all fell down to earth. And I hate Elon Musk, so yay.
My kid was like, he said, I want to be an engineer. He's like, I want to be an engineer. And he's like, I'd really like to be the next Elon Musk, but not super crazy and do stuff here on Earth. And I was like, okay.
And he's how old now?
He's 10.
Okay. Whatever. Noble. And good insight.
Luckily he'll change his major before it's time to pay for it.
I say, damn, you got some work ahead of you. Buddy.
No, he'll probably still be an engineer, which is great. I think we need more of those, but I don't know.
That's my one argument with Elon Musk and all the rest of the billionaire fucks in the world. Pardon my language. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, 7 listeners. But he's spending all this billions and billions of dollars to put satellites in space.
Oh God, I know.
And with one of his billions, one of his many hundreds of billions, one of them, he could feed every hungry person on this planet. With 2 of them, he could feed and clothe them. And if he would part with 3 of his hundreds of billions, he could give them a lifetime salary.
Yeah.
For most people in the rest of the world, $100,000 would be a lifetime salary.
Well, we were kind of talking about. Sorry, these hounds are going fucking nuts, and I hate it. Sorry, my neighbor's dog is out. I thought this. Next time I'm getting in my closet, if if there's a round 3.
Hey, listen, a lot of podcasters are in the closet.
It from the fucking closet.
No pun intended.
And that's true. They are. But I'm out.
I was gonna do it in my closet, but then no one would believe it.
Oh, shit.
Oh shoot! I shouldn't clap like that in front of my poor. Sorry, microphone. Sorry about that.
Sorry, 7 people.
Sorry, 7. Sorry, sorry, the Holy 7.
We're 2 of the 7. Oh, for the love of Jesus! Can somebody just mute
who those 7 were? If I could just figure out who they were, I could write them a letter, thank them.
Well, send them a Valentine. Here's your Valentine. So anyway, we were talking about. When we were talking early in the week, we were talking about like celebrityism and their what they should. I know, but like that's the whole thing with Elon Musk. He could absolutely do it. He could absolutely do that. So could all the billionaires.
Do you know how many billionaires there are in the world, and how many of them have hundreds of billions of dollars?
Hundreds of billions.
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit of a communist socialist freak, but I just think there's just kind of silly.
It's like, isn't that an oxymoron?
It's just kind of silly to me for one person, and it's just funny.
But I mean, who should? I mean, you asked me like what my opinion was on like celebrities and their responsibilities.
Yeah, rights and responsibilities that go with them. Absolutely.
And there's just no police for that, unfortunately, and it's.
Right, but there's police for so many other stupid things.
Exactly. Everybody's getting canceled for shit that they shouldn't be canceled for, and other people are not being, it just shows you their character. And I think the people that like you just don't hear about all the time anyway are the ones that are doing, there's a lot of celebrities that do amazing things, and they don't necessarily have to run out and get the credit for it, which I think is
the fact that they don't, as a recovering Catholic, I shouldn't put it that way. I'm not a recovering Catholic. I
thought you were fully recovered.
Well, you have to join AA in order to.
Oh shit! No,
I wasn't really raised, even though technically I was baptized a Catholic. We never went to the church. There was no religion in our family. Mm-hmm. The closest thing I got to being a Catholic was that we had a uber Catholic babysitter. Her name was Peggy, and I think she aspired to be a nun and somehow couldn't quite make the cut.
There's a story there. Peggy.
I mean, how bad do you have to be not to make it as a nun? That was mean-spirited. I'm so sorry, dead Peggy. Dead Peggy, I'm sorry. Anyway, so she was like super. This is why I took my fucking glasses off. Could you read them? So she would like try to teach us catechism at lunch period. Have a bologna sandwich, and she'd be teaching us about the saints and the different this, that, and the other. And we tried. We were like 7, 6 and 7, and we're like, wow, yeah, okay, sure. Can I have more bologna? Can I have more Frito chips? Okay. I learned a little bit about it, and I learned that I thought, I like the idea of the spiritual path. That's for my first very awareness of it. But she was so weird. She would take paper towels, wipe the counter down or do whatever. And then she would rinse them out and hang them up and dry them and use them again.
Wow.
That was before recycling. That was like in the 60s, before we even had the concept of such an odd thing, but she did that. She would rinse them out and dry them.
I wonder, it makes you wonder about Peggy, like how she grew up, because we do a lot
of things make me wonder about Peggy.
Of, like weird shit that you do when you have like a poverty mindset that you like, once you either become something or you become successful or whatever. I mean, there's stuff that I see that people do and I'm like, oh wow, you guys have tissues and toilet paper in your bathroom. Shit. That was like luxury. Like
somebody's in high cotton.
Exactly. Like we didn't know that when we were little. So like, you just think about like the things that they probably do in their house. It's like totally normal everyday stuff because you like, what do you think that shit grows on trees? Paper towels, rinse it out.
Well, yeah, my parents were survivors of the Great Depression. And so there were things that they didn't have and things that were like, unheard of, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I heard all about it, which was good. I mean, I needed to hear those lessons and have that comparison. But of course, I lived in the 60s in the days of, skateboarding and the Beach Boys and whatever.
I love it. I feel like, I think every generation thinks that their generation is the last ones to have had certain types of experiences. But like, really, it's kind of true with the 60s and 70s kids because we weren't, and 80s kids, really, we weren't like plugged into anything. We were just kind of wild and free. And it was just a whole other ballgame before computers. Because can you imagine growing up with everything that you've done being publicized?
Life before the internet. Thank God we had it. I know, right? Mind-boggling. I check myself all the time. It's like if I don't have any, I have to ask myself, do I have any naked videos of me? Nope. Nope.
Oops. Well, I mean, it's been so long now.
Well, you're not alone. Fuck, I mean, it was good enough for Pam and Tommy Lee. Is good enough.
Oh dear God, they came out with a Hulu show about that, which I have not watched and won't. But like,
I can't think of anything less interesting than their life. I mean, I don't mean to be,
especially since it was already on video, technically. So like,
but the juicy parts were.
Literally.
The actually juicy parts were on video. So
Jesus.
Who is playing her, by the way? Do you know?
I do not.
Because I am seeing little images of it as I move through my social media day and trying to get me to watch this movie. And whoever it is a ringer for Pamela. But maybe it's, I don't know. I'm so out of touch with today's youth.
Today's youth. Who isn't? I mean, we work with high schools all the time, and like the things that they say, like just being around kids all the time with sports, because we do sports photography. For those of you who don't know, we do sports photography. So it's usually high school stuff because that's who we shoot for the media, is to cover their stuff. And I swear to God, like the shit that comes out of their mouth half the time, I'm like, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what any of this means. And they have different, and we do videography. They do these certain poses. I'm like, is that a drug reference? I mean, it looks like it would be a drug reference, but it's not. It's something totally different. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of this. I don't know what y'all are doing.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Because like this back in the day meant something different. I don't know.
What does it mean now?
I still don't know.
I'm the penguin.
The penguin. Or this one where they just point at their veins. Anyway. So.
Oh, ouch. That's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Pointing at your veins.
Well, it means I have ice in my veins. That's what that means. That reference.
See, I went straight to heroin.
Everybody who is over like 30 does. You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you
kind
doing?
Of a thing.
I don't think you can do that. And now it just means I have ice in my veins. And I'm like, okay.
I've got ice in. Well, I don't constantly have ice in my veins, and I don't know that I would be ever so proud to say that I did.
Well,
it's a different world out there.
It's a different world. It's weird because like we are old and we have a 10-year-old because we started really late. All of our friends have 20-something-year-olds who are either starting their own family or they have teenagers who just learned how to drive. You know what I mean? So like, it's like a whole nother, parents will probably get it if they understand like they're teenagers, but if you don't have a teenager, you know what the hell they're saying.
I can't even imagine it. I have my only exposure to someone of that age bracket is my nephew Jacob, whom I love and actually have a pretty good connection with, considering that I am 63 and he is 16. Whatever, we have just a magical little rapport that we've had since he was a little baby. And, that's just the way that it is. But he doesn't really, I get to see him maybe twice a year. So I don't really get exposed to young people. I was at the library for, I think, about 6 months. And that was my one exposure to little pumpkins. They had a youth library, and they did tons of stuff in our youth library. And it was very, you wouldn't imagine, or maybe you would imagine it, but I'm a bit of a Pied Piper with little ones for no apparent reason at all.
You're like, I'm not into this, but they're into you. It's
well,
like
I'm not into kids. I like kids. I respect them as human beings, and I kind of treat them like actual humans as opposed to
like full-blown adults,
like dogs and shit. Come on, honey, come on. Anyway, so I would have a lot of fun at the library. I would go in, have to work a shift every now and again to let somebody have a lunch break, and then be in there and just watching these little toddlers with their dinosaur books and we have this huge sculpture of a dinosaur, full, like a life-size head of a T-Rex at the Sedona library. Well, I don't know if it would have been there when you were here, but it's been there for about
probably would have remembered that.
Well, I don't know how many people. A lot of people in Sedona have never been to the library ever.
Really?
And that would have been true for me up until a short time ago. I went there, I think, a couple times for the chamber. And one of my favorite things was that there's this the man who was the sculptor for the dinosaurs for the movie Jurassic Park lives here in Sedona.
Are you kidding me?
His name is...
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Trisic or something like that. It's like strangely spelled, like Romanian kind of Trisic or something like that. Anyway, so he had this big molding cast of a T-Rex, full-sized T-Rex head. It was in his backyard. It was one of the models that he used to sell the idea. This is the look that I'm going for. I don't know that if they actually used that particular piece of art in the movie or not, but at any rate, someone at the library saw it and made him an offer he couldn't refuse. And they've had this huge, giant T-Rex head sticking through the wall for a few years now. And when the little kids come in, oh my, it might as well be Santa Claus with teeth. It's just fucking hysterical. And only a couple of I've ever seen kind of lose their shit, like, oh my God. But mostly they're, arms out, running. It's the greatest thing on toast, so very cool thing. They're getting ready to actually do a big renovation of the library, which should be really exciting. They brought in these major architects to try to revitalize it. It's been 40 years since they built it, and they haven't. I think that's
about how long I think I had a book out there. I literally found a book when we were moving that I had checked out when it was on the naughty list. If we're being for real, because I shit you not, it was like 8 years. Like I had this book for 8 years, and then we were moving.
They kind of give up after a while. Don't worry.
They were like,
it takes them a while to give up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, and I thought, I should have taken it to a Phoenix library, and just because we had moved and then we moved again, and it was just lots of moving.
Just put it back in the system. Somehow it'll make its way home.
No, we could shoot up there all the time. We
like a dog on the highway. Don't worry, honey, it'll find his way home.
Oh no, he's tried that one. But we work up there a lot, so I took it back one time when we were up there on a job. So you're welcome, Sedona Library. Sorry, they're probably like, this isn't even in the.
They're like, fuck, what we're gonna do with this
except for the stamp on the side. Just the stamp on the pages. I know it was yours.
Slips into the. That's
like 1989, and I still got your shit from France, like a trip to France. I was hoping to do. I won't forget it because I had that book forever.
A trip to France. Well, they've got some pretty good books there, but they don't have them all. They don't have the Mahabharata. I know that. It's only funny to
I'll
me,
take your word
folks.
for it.
All 7
I'll
of my
totally
listeners.
take your word for it.
Sorry if any of you are Indian.
Oh God, she's apologizing. I don't even know.
I don't even know. Who are my 7? Who are my mystery 7? Dear 7, if you're out there, if you hear this podcast, please identify yourselves. I'd really like to know who you are. I'd want to be grateful to you. And I'd like to know if you could just possibly get me 3 more so I can have 10. I need 10 subscribers. It's just a baseline. 10. It's all I'm asking. It ain't much.
Are you talking about YouTube stuff?
Yeah, my YouTube. My podcast, I don't even, I haven't been really following it. It's on BuzzSprout. It's too much of a pain in the neck. I'm just going to do everything on YouTube from now on.
She's like, forget you, BuzzSprout.
Forget you, BuzzSprout. Ixnay. Actually, I still do have things on BuzzSprout because that allows me to have things on the audio part of it on Spotify, on Amazon, on all these other things. And I just don't know where my 7 are searching for me. So
if you guys could just drop a message somewhere on any platform.
Just let me know where you're at. I mean, I just want to send you Christmas cards. That's all I'm saying. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I truly am. I mean, 7, that's like a lucky number.
More than I have.
Yeah, but you don't have a fancy podcast like me.
No, but I do have a YouTube channel. I've got 2 subscribers and I don't know who they are either.
Well, see, I think there should be a law that you should be able to know. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's a stalkery thing, but still, if you're subscribing, fuck. Just doesn't it seem right that they should identify themselves?
I guess, especially if you can be monetized, you should be able to know who you're making money off.
And I can be monetized.
But it's like a super PAC.
All 7 of you out there to know I am monetized. There's a PayPal account. You can click and give me all 7 of your $7.
To 777.
777.
Used to be 999, but now it's
777. My birthday is in July, which is a 7. My birthday is on the 28th, which is a multiple of 7.
Oh.
So watch out, world. Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter.
She's a Leo.
Fuck yeah, I am. Hail to the yeah. I'm a Leo. I'm an Aries. I'm a Taurus. All at the same time.
How do you get the Aries in there? Is it your moon?
Aries is my rising. Taurus is my moon.
I had somebody do a chart one time and told me all that shit, and I don't remember any of it.
If I had a nickel for every time someone has offered to do my chart, girl.
I bet you're in the perfect place for it, though.
I kind of am. I'm in the chart building capital of the world.
Yes, where there's crystal crunchers and cowboys.
Oh my God.
Fabulous rocks greater than the Grand Canyon.
Well, maybe even better. I think we're a better version of the Grand Canyon. We're humanized.
It's interesting because there's more, I don't know, what's the fucking word for it?
I give up.
Like famous rock formations and
notable pet rocks.
There's just people. Yeah. Yes, notable pet rocks is a great way of saying it because that's what it is. But
the Grand Canyon doesn't have any.
I lived there for 7 years because it was tremendous. It was like the most beautiful place I had ever seen, and I had to move to Phoenix, and now we're here.
It's tremendous, and it's all kinds of different things, but it's not the be all end all for me. I mean, I'm glad I'm here, but it's getting to be where I'm about to be priced out. It's speaking of billionaires.
Speaking of millionaires,
the billionaires are buying out the millionaires in Sedona. It's getting yeah.
Well, and everything's turning into an Airbnb. You can't have just.
That's exactly right. There's nowhere to
affordable housing, and there's nowhere to people to live nearby that can get to work, and businesses are closing. It's just the craziest.
That is a soapbox I could get on top of all day long, girl. It's so many people that I know that have been priced out of their homes. I was priced out of my place over on Sombart and ended up out here in the village, which is fine. I've actually liked it being out here. But I just found out they're going to raise my rent again. They jacked me like $200 a month last year in one fell swoop, just like, hey girl,
it's the market.
And I didn't have any choice but to fucking suck it up and pay it. And I've been struggling ever since. And so I'm just going to have to find another little corner of the world where I can create a podcast of wonder and joy.
If we get to see each other.
Well, that's the beauty. See, we're 100 miles apart right now, but nobody can tell because of that beautiful blue sculpture in the background.
Because of my glowing pitchfork.
Yes, that little bit of radiant light. That little,
it's a mood setter.
It's a little bit like a stellar, like a, what do you call it? Constellation. It's like
looks like Pleiades.
It's like
a binary star unit.
It's like if the Pleiades poured themselves into the Big Dipper.
Okay, I have to say this. I said I was not spacey earlier, but I know who the fuck Pleiades is. Okay, like I know that constellation, and yes, it has a binary star unit, and that's all I know.
Well, just as you said that, there was a strange object flying by. Of course, it was probably a strange airplane, but I don't care.
It was either a plane or a
flashing airplane. Now this is spacey. I've been seeing a lot of strange anomalies in the night sky. Do you spend any time outside looking up? Or are you too busy raising your child?
We get a helicopter frequently because we live right by a mountain where a lot of people hike up. So we get a lot of helicopter and plane activity, but we can't see stars and shit because we're in the cities with too much light pollution.
Yeah, that's the worst because I'm from Los Angeles, so I know light pollution. I know from light pollution.
Yeah, there's nothing. We can go to our park. We have a park in our neighborhood, and if we go out there where there's just like out in the field, the playing field, we can see the space station go over, and we can we go out for eclipses and shit like that, but we can't see just
like really the
Milky Way or anything
of the night sky. Well,
no, and Arizona has so many places that you can go and see the Milky Way, and just the stars look like they're going to hit you in the head.
Sedona was
luckily
one of the first places I ever saw the Milky Way, and it's mind-boggling. And my little apartment now has a patio that looks out to a eastern sunrise, and I spend quite a lot of time out there these days, just kind of looking up and just watching and waiting and meditating and wondering what the heck's going on. And in that time, just thinking my thoughts, not doing anything in particular. I have seen some very strange light anomalies in the sky, like big, like one time it was like a strobe, like a lighthouse, like a star that went and then disappeared. And big enough, like
a big searchlight.
Like I turned my head and looked at it, like exactly like that search, like how it goes and it gets and big, and as it turns, it's not a Doppler effect, but you know what I'm saying, the big flash. And then with my beloved little nephew Jacob, who is my teenager, was here visiting for Thanksgiving, and we went out to the creek. And let's do a little orb experiment. I've been dying to go out there and try to see if I could capture any orbs with my digital camera. And so, of course, he'll go and do anything that's fun and cool. And I can't get anybody else to go out and play with me. It's like, okay, let's do this thing. And we captured, I think you might have even seen the little picture that I put it up on the internet. I put it up on Facebook back right after Thanksgiving of this green face that he captured. So we're sitting at the creek, we're meditating, trying to call in the orbs, just kind of loosely snapping digital pictures around. Didn't seem to capture anything immediately. So we are treading our way back to the car. And I looked up, we're watching I don't know if it was the Sky Lab or what it was, but a satellite you can see a satellite go by almost at any time of the day, of the evening. And, it was a particularly busy satellite night. We're watching this satellite go by, and I just happened to turn my head in a particular direction, and this thing went like this and collapsed down. Like when you see a space movie where they've traveled and like done, warp speed, and they've smacked into their new location, and they, they come through a big hole and it smacks back. And that's exactly what this thing looked like. It was huge.
It was like a portal.
Like I ain't even shitting you, girl. It was freaking like, and I'm just grateful that he was there. I said, you saw that too, right? I didn't just imagine that. He goes, I saw it too. Okay, great. So now we both saw this thing that looked like an iris, like open and close in the sky.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
and he got and that's what the picture was?
No. That's not what the picture was. That was while we were still walking back to the car. We saw that. So then we get back to my apartment. He was spending the night with me. And so I had him send me the pictures and load them onto my computer so that we could put them onto my Photoshop and I could zoom in and get as close as possible. And he had this one picture at the creek, the last picture that he took. And it just looks like the creek. And, if you're looking at this image of me right now, right over my head, there's a little white light that's a piece of crystal that's over. Yeah.
I'm pointing at it and you can see my hand because I'm on fucking video.
Right.
It's
it's a little crystal hanging from a beaded chain. And so imagine a piece of light barely even that big, just like off in the corner of this image. And so we zoom in. And I wonder if I can pull it up here. It'd be fun to share on the video here. All of a sudden, I just zoom in this thing and I'll be fucked if, sorry, 7 listeners.
I'll be damned.
I'll be daggone if this isn't the face of a little green alien looking out through a freaking portal. I'm not lying. I ain't lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Let me get that picture for you. Hold on 1 second. I will share my screen with you. I think we can achieve that goal in the midst of all this. I put it on Facebook. So where did I store that picture? Red Rock Cafe. Great food, great people, great service. RedRockCafe.com. Located at 100 Verde Valley School Road in beautiful Red Rock, Sedona.
This is funny. My neighbor's AC just kicked on. That's Phoenix for you. We're in the middle of winter. Technically,
air conditioner. Jeez. Well, what is the temperature down there right now? It's warm up. It's a really nice evening up here right now.
It was 81 today, so it's in the 60s now.
Yeah, it's a really nice night. Well, I don't know if I can find that.
60s or 70s, maybe. I don't know.
Anyway, so I'll send it to you after the fact, and I will certainly embed it onto the video when I get a chance. But yeah, I'm not even.
I most definitely saw it because I see all your stuff. I have no.
So
memory.
and think so. In have you ever seen pictures of these little light orbs? They look like this little, like almost like a close up of a cell. There's like a light ring around it, and there's like stuff in the middle. Well, very similarly, only in lime green, and I'm not shitting you, lime green. There's this little, like, it looks like a portal of lime green mist, and inside is this freaking little, like, classic alien with a big teardrop kind of head, big eyes, and just looking through like, gotcha.
Hey. Gotcha, or you got me. It's funny because, like,
I ain't even lying to you, girl. It is amazing.
It makes you think, like, so either it's real or we have been programmed to think that's what aliens look like, and this light orb resembled that. But what are the chances of that?
Well, but see, that's kind of my point. It's like aliens probably don't look like actual aliens. Probably don't look like that. That is our caricature of aliens. which in my mind tells me that maybe it's nothing. And it could be, what do they call it? When you see human faces and things, it's like the natural trick of the brain. I can't think of what the word is, but when I
certainly don't know it.
But it's anthropomorphism, something like that. Something.
That old thing.
That. And that's not the actual word for how we find faces. There's another word that's specific to finding faces and things. But anthropomorphism is the applying of human characteristics to other objects, other things. Like you treat your dog like it's a person, you anthropomorphize him. Anyway, so this is more of it's almost like a joke. Like if I was an alien who if I was an alien who had a sense of humor, and in my mind, all aliens would.
And you were like a shapeshifter.
Well, just that they're like, okay, what do humans think aliens look like? Ha ha ha! They think they look like little green, big-headed, big-eyed things like this. What would be funnier than to have this weird little green alien face show up in a tiny teardrop of light? This fucking big, I mean, not even that big in the background of a photograph. So it could be nothing. It could be just that human tendency to find what we're looking for in things. Mm-hmm. But because I like to believe in stuff and I'd rather have it be fun and adventurous, in my mind, there was an alien who heard us and was there and was just like, let's just give these kids something to take home.
Yeah.
And that, and then of course the thing. And this is the same nephew with whom I went to the mysterious Bradshaw Ranch about 3 years ago.
That's no joke, though. There's all kinds of stories and
mysterious Bradshaw
tours, and I mean they do tours there, so you can see all the crazy shit that goes on there.
Here's the weird que misterioso. I work now for John Bradshaw.
Oh my God, do you really?
Yeah. I work for John Bradshaw at Rainbow Adventures. So John Bradshaw is the son of Bob Bradshaw. Bob Bradshaw and Linda Bradshaw were the Bradshaws that owned the mysterious Bradshaw Ranch and did all the photography and the stunt work and the photography work with the movies, and around whom all those mysterious and amazing stories are told about the ranch. Mm-hmm. His wife Linda talks about there being a interdimensional Bigfoot that lives there. It's in the Tom Dongo book that she wrote with him. So, I mean, there's just like weird shit that goes on out there that's not just UFOs in the sky, lights.
And random military jets disappearing into their canyon.
The story of big white semi-trucks that disappear in and never come out, go in one direction, never come out, paramilitary and guys in black. I mean, all of that stuff. And while they were living there, the constant invasion of craft and orbs and apparently this Bigfoot. So I went to the mysterious Bradshaw Ranch with my nephew a few years ago. I think he might have been 12 at the time, something like that. So we're out there. We went out in the dark at first, in the evening, in my poor little Ford Focus, which is not built to be on. He was looking at me with his 12-year-old puppy dog eyes. I know, but I told him I would, so I did. I was like, I'm surprised my little fucking car still goes. Anyway, so we went out there in the dark, and we saw a couple of weird little light flashes, but nothing that was really, compelling. So the next day, he's like, I want to go back out there. I was like, oh, Jesus, dude. All right, we're going to go out there and see what we missed. And so I, being a good auntie, took him back out there. And we parked our little car and walked. The ranch is now surrounded by a fence that's not particularly hard to get through if you want to get through it. And so we're walking around the perimeter of it and talking to each other about I was telling them about that I'd read the book about all this stuff that's going on, that had gone on at the ranch. And as we're walking along the edge of the fence line, we're in the midst of, scrub oak and, whatever the manzanitas and crap that are out there. And all of a sudden, it's broad daylight. It's like noon, lunchtime. We hear,
Oh, lady.
and we both stopped like freaking dead in our tracks.
I'm like,
and we both did that. I reached out and I put my hand on him, like stopped him from taking another step, not knowing what the fuck that was. I didn't know if there was a bear or a mountain lion or a javelina.
Right.
I mean, it could have been literally any freaking thing. Could have been a coyote with his paw in a trap. It could have been all kinds of shit. And so, but we both heard it, and we like looked at each other, and there was a big, I will call it a scrub oak kind of a bush in front of us. That was, the size of half the size of a Volkswagen, let's say. It was a sizable bush. Mm-hmm. And we thought that whatever the fuck it was behind this bush. Right? Because it sounded that close. I mean, it was like so distinct and so not mistakable at all. And he leaned off one side and I leaned off to the other to kind of look around to see if there was.
Oh, that's crazy. No, that's how people die.
And there was nothing on the other side. A couple of birds flew out of the bush. Like,
no,
there was nothing there. There was nothing there. There was nothing there. But I know what I heard, and he knows what he heard, and we know what we heard. And
that's crazy. I would have turned around, hightailed it out of there, and been like, "No, I'm not dying today," because that's
we were. Yeah, I mean, we stood there for a good couple of few minutes because we were absolutely sure of what we just heard.
And that made you go, "Hey, I want to see what made that sound."
Well, I mean, we were stuck. We were stuck. We couldn't go forward. We didn't know to go back. We were, you want to know what's there. I mean, what are you going to do? Just stand there. So
just run away.
And there was nothing there. There was just nothing there.
That's terrifying. So it was an interdimensional Yeti.
Well, to the degree that any of my 7 listeners believe in these things,
could have been.
Please write me a letter and let me know what you think about Bigfoot, interdimensional or otherwise. So, so I know that is like an extraordinary experience that I had, and I had it at Mysterious Bradshaw
Ranch.
And so here's the weird thing. I used to work at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Totally fucking haunted. Used to work at the Queen Mary in Long Beach. Totally fucking haunted. Worked at the apparently Sedona Public Library. Totally fucking haunted.
I could see that.
I'm not even shitting. Like I would go in there, and each night, most of the work that I would do, you'd be in that back. We have a computer area with like 15 little computers.
It was like Ghostbusters and the card catalog.
That would have been so awesome. No, but very close, very, very close. So we have these 3 rows of computer tables with, desktop computers and keyboards and mouse and, a little computer lab kind of a thing. And each night, because we're in the midst of this COVID thing, I'm always wiping down the keyboards and wiping down the tables with rubbing alcohol and making sure everything is all sanitized. So I would put everything in like barracks order. Push the chair in, put the keyboard square with the screen, put the mouse to the right of the keyboard so that I could see if somebody sat down and used it so that I would know I needed to sanitize it.
Right.
So I would do this little barracks thing every time all day long. And at night, I would make sure everything was in barracks order before I left to come back in the morning. And I would come back in the morning and there would be one chair pulled out with the keyboard and the mouse askew.
No, that shit freaks me out.
Right.
I can't. No,
and then one time I was in there waiting for an evening group to leave the building. They were the astronomy group. And the library has a double set of pressure plate doors, like at the grocery store. step on the plate, it opens the door. And for atmospheric control, they have an outside door and an inside door so that the air conditioning and flies and whatnot don't get too mixed in. It doesn't work very well, but there you have it. 2 sets of sliding glass doors. So I'm standing there one night and I'm looking out the evening, watching the sunsetty sky, and all of a sudden the inside pressure plate door opens up by itself. Okay, fine. I suppose that could happen.
I suppose, but wait.
Well, wait. There's more. And then the outside pressure plate doors.
No, like, see, now I have to go inside my house because I'm sitting out here in the fucking dark.
You be all right. Don't worry, you're not at the library.
I'm not.
So 2 pressure plate doors open, in sequence, basically like someone was going out the library.
My fat ass would have been like, right behind him.
I don't know why. I just looked at it like, that just fucking happened, right? Yeah. And I mean, I've watched toddlers run up to those doors who don't weigh enough to make the door open.
To trigger it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and many, many times when I'm there at night, when I was there at night, and I would be waiting for some event to happen, not quietly reading a book or watching a movie or something. And I'd hear bang, bang, boom. It sounded just like someone was knocking over a couple of dictionaries, boom, boom, and then rattling on the back door. And I was like, and I would tell people that, and they're like, oh, God. It's just an old wooden library. I just got a text message and my table vibrated when you said that. And it scared the shit out of me. Like, what is happening? Yeah, you're just getting yourself all freaked out. I said, I'm the one who worked in the haunted places, not you. You're lucky you're in Phoenix.
I'm the one that it scares.
There's no haunting in Phoenix. Don't worry.
Nah, this shit is not haunted.
So now...
looking around.
So now I work for John Bradshaw at Rainbow Adventures, and I work at what used to be the U-Haul place in West Sedona has now been changed over to a launch pad for the Jeep tours.
Right on. I always wondered, a launch. It's like right over there next to Nick's.
Well, there are so many launch pads now in Sedona for the Jeeps and the ATVs and the whatevers. It's ridiculous. But
you want some small world shit?
Sure.
You ready for small world shit? I used to drive Jeeps for John Bradshaw.
Well, see what I'm saying? It's just circle just keeps on turning. Circle just keeps on turning.
And so that's why I was laughing so hard when you said you drove a Ford Focus out to Bradshaw Ranch, because I used to drive Jeeps out there. It's not a fucking car.
It's not a place to take a fucking Ford Focus at all.
Disclaimer, don't drive a car.
It's like when people would ask me when I worked at the chamber, can I drive my LeSabre up Schnebly Hill Road? You can try.
Sure, you can pretty much.
And here's the name of a good mechanic in a tow truck.
Yep.
So I made it out there and made it back. Obviously, I went at like 1 mile per hour the whole way, but I managed. I still managed. But here's the deal. So I worked in all these haunted places, like weirdly haunted places. Extremely haunted places, and then now I work at the Jeep place, and the Jeep place, it was originally a bank. There's actually a huge fucking vault in the back with a door like this of 2 feet thick, big vault door in the main office in the back of the building. And sure as shit, that building is as haunted as it can be. I have a thing on my phone, a ghost app. Of course, you can get any kind of name your problem, and there's an app for it. So now there's Ghostbuster apps out there where you can get these little things that basically read electromagnetism. So if you hold it up, and I held it up to you, pointed it at you, it would show like a little stick figure of you, because it kind of sees your energy points and picks them up, right? So in theory, it can do that if there was a ghost in the room. If there was,
if you just like scan the room, it'll show you stick figure.
If there was a stick figure in a place where there's no person standing there, basically, you have a ghost.
Now imagine if they replaced that stick figure with a Pokemon, and you could throw a ball at it and catch it.
There you go. See, there's always a bright
Wouldn't
side.
that app be great?
It would be. I don't know why.
Pokemon. It'd be Pokemon Ghost.
I never did ever try to play that Go game where people were like killing themselves driving off the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, just like walking down the street.
Yeah, like walking off the top of buildings and stupid shit like that. Hey, I mean, what were they doing? They were like trying to capture,
trying to catch them
little digital ghosts or some shit. Oh my god. Yeah. What people will do to entertain themselves. See, this is our problem in Western society. I'm just going to lay down some shit for you, all 7 of you. You better be listening because Mama's talking right now. Okay? This is what's wrong with Western society. We are bored, and we allow ourselves to be bored. So we do stupid fucking things when we're bored. Just really, really, really.
Yeah, we do.
Stupid shit when we're bored. Because we can't spend 5 minutes with ourselves and our own thoughts and manage to get out alive on the other end. It's just, come on, people. I just am amazed at the things that people will do and have done in the name of, I'm bored.
Oh, gosh.
Right?
But think of all the discoveries that wouldn't have been made,
True enough.
Yeah.
True enough. I mean, we might not have penicillin if what's his name hadn't been bored that day.
Exactly. What's his name?
What was his name?
How if I know?
Who invented penicillin?
What's his name?
That old guy with the beard.
I used to work in the film industry.
Okay, so let's try
production.
Let's go with Madame Curie. Okay, let's go with Madame.
That
Curie.
works. That works for me. But when I worked in the film set, I always hung out with the electricians because they were always up to some crazy shit. But I've watched a dude take just a regular cord. Don't try this at home.
Disclaimer.
I'm not going to tell you how he did it, but he basically turned a regular lamp cord into this thing and created a glowing pickle. And I was like, that's not going to work because it just sounds ridiculous. He's like, no, if you take a dill pickle and you do this, which I, again, am not saying.
But why do you know that?
Right.
It's like, right. Why do you fucking know that?
How do you know that? And I watched it with my own eyes and I was like, okay, so that's a thing. You can make a pickle glow with a lamp cord.
Right.
Fucking great. But that's the kind of stuff you wouldn't know unless there was somebody that was really, really bored.
Out there, really, really bored. And now there's this new thing that,
oh no.
What's happening?
The dogs are coming out.
They're being released.
The hounds are being released.
Well, as long as they don't knock the camera over, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, they're all right. They'll just be loud.
Exactly. So the new thing that I notice on Facebook videos they come across, normally I don't watch Facebook videos, but they seem to pile up on my thing. So I'm like, okay, well, who are making?
What's the 5 minutes crafts doing today?
What's happening here? And they do these lead-ins where, I mean, it makes me so angry. I just want to cut a bitch. They like, oh, we're going to do this thing with, we're going to do a thing. And they start to like pretend that they're going to do a thing with somebody's hair. And then they're going to wrap it up, and they're going to think, and then they comb it, and then they fiddle with it, and then they stick it in a thing. And they're like, okay, well, wait, just a minute. Wait. And then they fiddle with it. And they take like 25 minutes to get to absolutely nothing. There's no payoff. There's no explosion. There's no bloody stump at the end. There's nothing.
It's not even a curl.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to look. Nothing happens, and I'm like, okay, who invented this genre, and how do I just reach out through this fucking like digital universe and snap their necks? Because this is there are those who say that karma is coming back to haunt those who do things like this. Making videos that have no point, that go nowhere, that loop you in, make you think something's going to happen. And some of us just fucking fall for it. I fell for
listen, that's 2 whole minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Right? And I'm old. I can't afford this shit. I'm old.
I can't afford it anymore.
I've only got 825,000 minutes left, and you just took 2 of them, bitch. I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm going to find out where you live.
And I'm going to cut you.
And I'm going to make a real video about what shit's going down.
That was not a threat. Also, disclaimer. That was not a threat.
Disclaimer. I will kill you, but not really. FBI, CIA.
Because they care about us.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's related to my 7 followers, so it could be anybody. I should probably be more careful. I mean, they could be made men for all I know. All fucking 7 of them. I'm talking like, real shit here. So I got to find out who these 7 people are. I'm going to ask them to please identify themselves. Do you think that's unfair?
I do not think that's unfair.
I think they should unmask themselves. And anyone who just
reveal yourself.
And anyone who decides to become a subscriber, I hope you will identify yourself, because I want to send a card. I just want to.
That's all she wants.
So I just want to be able to send you a card, say thank you, find out how you're doing for Christmas, things like that. So anyway, we were off on a rant. I don't know. We just took a frickin' left turn that was frightening. I said I was going to kill people. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, videos that make me mad. So just I was
like, time's out. I don't even remember. I left off at the
the videos of it, and those and the ones that they're like the new thing on Facebook videos. People get into some serious production shit here too. They like create. I think they're foreign. I don't think that they're Americans who make these. I think they're like Vietnamese, or maybe they're Korean or Chinese or some shit. But they are like more morality stories of this handsome young man is being mean to this poor young girl, and he's going to learn a lesson someday. And so
I've never seen these.
Oh my God, they're everywhere. And they're all these morality tales about how you should be nicer to people. And if you don't, your karma's going to come back and bite you in the ass.
Tell it, T.
I am just telling you, they are all acted out. It's like production value. That's shit.
Crazy.
You can check it out.
No, I only see shit that's like hair tutorials and crafts.
Oh, you gotta look deeper.
And dumb stuff rednecks do.
Deeper. You gotta look deeper, because there's these morality tales of, the handsome man who leaves the girlfriend for the prettier girl and abuses her, and then all of a sudden now they're. A year goes by and the poor girl is now a powerful executive at a company, and
real life shit.
And he goes in for a job interview.
Of course he does.
She's the one who's gonna.
She's the boss. Didn't see that coming.
Right? Did you? And so, they're like proliferating left and right, and. Just badly produced, gang on a bus. Don't mess with this guy. And they're like, hey, give me your seat, old man. Like, please, I don't want any trouble here. You heard me. Get out of that seat.
Right through the videos we used to have to watch with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, and then some homeless fucker comes up and goes, don't mess with him.
And just whips ass.
And just randomly whips ass on the guys on the bus, and it's like, oh, thank you so much. It's okay. Be at peace. And there's
my elders
where we're all supposed to, yeah, exactly. There's a lesson to be learned here.
Respect your elders, or this guy's gonna whip your ass.
Damn you, young kids on the buses. Fuck. So anyway, I don't know what weird fucking rabbit hole we have fallen down, but I think we've been talking for about an hour plus.
Probably. I don't even know. I don't know how to check.
It's just random freaking,
Sorry, when my dog coughs, she sounds like a human. There's not a ghost behind me hacking it up. It's just
all right, even if there was, because I have a ghost detector on my phone.
I would hate to see my backyard. But anyway, I have similarly, I have a black light, and I can show you all the scorpions on my back wall.
I'm going to show you this fucking thing here. So anyway, as I was saying about the damn Rainbow Adventure Bradshaw Mysterioso, that building was a bank, and they said that somebody got killed in there. that there.
Oh,
And well, I'm just telling you I'm telling you it's haunted. I don't care how or why it's haunted, but it's fucking
somebody's
haunted.
in there.
Somebody up in there. And well, I'm going to pull up this little program. And
You love some damn ghost stories, girl.
I do. I got all wrapped up in it. And that's how I got connected back with my friend, Lois Bromfield, who I haven't talked to in a really long time. I just was flipping through YouTube and there was something about haunted comedy store. And I was like, fucking, I worked at the haunted comedy store. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I started watching it and it reminded me of, all my old comedian friends. And I thought, I wonder what's going on with Lois, my friend Lois Bromfield. She's a Canadian stand-up comedian, lesbian. We all hung out together at the time. And so I looked her up and she's living and doing stand-up in Germany now. And she just wrote a book called, let's do a plug for Lois Bromfield, my good friend, stand-up comedian and professional writer. She wrote for Roseanne and a couple of other shows back in the day and still does stand-up in London and in Berlin. And her name is Lois Bromfield. And she wrote a book called My Dirty Life in Comedy. And you can get that on Amazon or a variety of other places. I think it's only available digitally. And she is a very funny lady, and her book is very direct. It's probably maybe not everybody's cup of tea because it's a little racy in a couple of spots. But then comedians aren't they? Yeah, fuck yeah, they are. That was perfect. I love it when they chime in perfect timing.
Sorry, gnocchi.
Oh, that's all right. It's life. Dogs make sounds. It's all good. See, told you.
It's a hound life.
It's a hound life. So anyway, we were going to talk about celebrities. We talked a little bit about space. We managed to get that in. What else can we talk about? Or are you all done? Do you have to go make some fritters or some shit?
I have to make fritters. That is a fact for my family.
Is that right?
Starves.
I just pulled that out of my ass, but okay.
Fritters. They like fritters. I'm going to make something.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm probably the only one capable of doing that in the household, but I'm in no condition to be cooking right now.
You don't want me near fire. Trust me.
It's burn my hair right off.
It's not a good look. Oh my goodness. Well, we can certainly get around to wrapping this up. We've been having actually quite a lot of fun and quite a fun
and
conversation.
I'm grateful for that. I needed to have a good time tonight. Chill out, reconnect, and it's really been wonderful.
Awesome. Well, let's do it again. You can be my little co-host. My what do they call that on television? A recurring role.
Oh,
you can be my recurring gal in Phoenix, and next time you can figure out what
we only have till May because once it's May, it's over 100 degrees at night. So
you can do it inside of an air-conditioned building.
That's right. I was going to be in the closet.
Empty a closet out.
Sure that's
got at least one walk-in closet somewhere in the house.
Because my dogs won't get me in there. Hopefully, they won't find me.
We'll find a way.
They'll leave me alone.
We'll find a way. We'll find a way. Maybe I'll invite you up. You can do an in-person podcast.
Oh my God, that would be so fun.
Wouldn't that be so much fun? All right. Well, we'll put all those nuts and bolts together later. Right now, I'm going to release you back into the wild. Let you get back to your family. And thank you so much for coming and spending some time with me. All my good friends all 7 of my listeners are grateful to you for having shown up today. All my mystery listeners and subscribers. So if there are maybe 3 extra people who happen to accidentally be listening, please subscribe so that I can have 10. I'd really like to have a magical. Like the
that follow button.
Smash that button. Give me some subscribe action. Let me feel your love because I really, 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 I need that magical 10. It's a witchcraft thing. Just kidding.
It's going to happen.
A witch.
Psych.
Psych. Wow. No, but 10 is a good number and I do like it. So please, 3 more people, please.
Let's do it.
Just make it happen. I know you can do it. All right, Miss Dia, thank you so much. I love you very much. I love you. Please be sure to send me some snap photos of anything fun and interesting and weird. It doesn't even have to be of you.
Okay. I was like, well,
random shit. Because we talked about so many random things. I'm gonna have to like search the internet for images of all the peculiarities we've discussed.
Well, there's one picture I want to see, and it's your orb. Damn it!
Oh, I'm gonna send that to you. I am gonna send that directly to you before the end of this very evening. Absolutely, and I will include it in the images on this podcast so that all of America, all 7 of my American, I assume they're Americans. You know, my 7 followers could be from anywhere. They could be probably. I might have a follower in the Ukraine right now. I don't even know.
I think we did talk about one Ukrainian. So
I think so. I might have a Swedish follower. You
could.
Anywhere.
Anything's possible. So anyway, you 7 people, thank you for listening.
All 7 of you mysterious motherfuckers. Quit hiding. Write me a letter. Tell me who you are.
Come on out and give me a hug.
That's right. I might have to join Patreon so that they can pay me to pull this foolishness off next time. All 7 of you. I want $10 each. I don't think that's much. I don't think that's asking much. That's terrible. All right, honey. I love you. I got to get out of here. I'll just keep rambling. Right. I'm like Robin Williams. I'll just keep fucking rambling.
Don't be too much like him. I love you.
I was going to say, like him, except alive.
Right.
Boom, shakalaka. Yes, I said it.
Too soon.
All right, Robin. I love you too. Up in heaven, Robin. I love you too. All right, honey. Give the family a hug and a squeeze.
I will.
A little doodly doo. Hey, maybe next time Joe can be on the show with his subtle humor, his subtle British humor.
I'm sure he would love it.
I would love to have him on. Absolutely.
I bet he would he'd be all right.
He's totally invited. I think the 2 of you would probably be a bit of a scream. Because I'm guessing you kind of,
we feed off of each other.
Well, you've been married how long now?
Like 11 and a half years.
Okay.
Well, since we work together, we like to say it's been 22 because like most couples have 8 to 10 hours away from each other every day, and we're like always together. So it's like double the marriage.
Yours is a cumulative.
Yes, exactly. We've done our time. We're at 11 and a half years technically. So.
All right. Well, big hugs to everybody. And send me some images. I'll send you a picture of the little alien man. And all of my 7 listeners, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Namaskaram.